of the best things you can do for your faith is meditation. Now, it might seem scary and complicated, but it's actually really not. It's just taking time and space to think about God. The analogy I have for it is like a pot of stew, right? You can add in as much ingredients, as much flavor, as much spices as you want, but if you don't let it simmer, if you don't let it boil, then the flavor's not going to come through. And it's the same with your faith. You can have as much knowledge, as much teaching and preaching and wisdom poured into you as much as you want, but if you don't think about it, if you don't apply it, if you don't give it time to just give it pressure and time to grow so you can know how to apply it to your life, it's not going to do anything. So I took some time to meditate, and I took some time and I went over to the Lake District. And there are a lot of different things that I picked up, and it mainly goes upon the stream of running the race of faith, because there's so many different ways and aspects you can take it. And here are some of the things that I learned from that trip and from that studied and focused meditation in the Lake District. This is what I learned from the lakes, running the race of faith. Am I good to go? Yeah. Cool. So, why do we as Christians run the race of faith? Why do we carry up our cross? Why should we sacrifice our lives for Christ? It's a question I always used to ask my dad. I always used to think, well, if Jesus has already died for our sins, why do we need to try and stop doing them? Why do we need to try and be better if Jesus has already died for us? But it completely misses the point. See, the reason we are called to sacrifice, the reason we are called to carry up our own cross, is because Christ first carried his cross. When I go to my youth group, there's this one person who always comes in, and before everyone else can see, he goes up to the tuck and he puts on £5 and he says, look, if anybody doesn't have enough money to get the tuck that they want, I'll pay this £5 and you just give it to them for free, because I'm paying for the debt that they already owe. This man doesn't know who needs the debt. This man doesn't know who needs the money, but yet he's always willing to pay. See, because Christ first sacrificed, therefore, if we truly love Christ, if we truly have that relationship and accept the sacrifice that Christ already had, then we should be willing to do the same. Because that's how a relationship works. It's not one person doing all the sacrificing and the other person just sits and bathes in the glory of getting all of this good stuff. But it's two people sacrificing for the good of each other. Because Christ first sacrificed, so we should sacrifice for others. But the thing is, it's not just that Christ has sacrificed for us on the cross, but it's actually that he continues to sacrifice for us. He continues to spur us on. When we run the race of faith, Christ isn't just at the finish line, just waving at us, but he's helping us, he's spurring us on, and he wants us to run faster and more efficiently for him, for his glory. Matthew 11:28 says, come to me all who burden and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. See, God is not just spurring us on, but he's picking up our burdens, he's helping us across so that we can run the race more efficiently for him. For example, something that burdened me was having school and having work, and it meant that I couldn't run the race as efficiently. It meant that I didn't have as much time to spend in the Bible or just with God in general. And here I am, no school, no work. And I'm able to run the race more efficiently because God has taken away my burdens so that I can run the race for him. This is where you've got to ask yourself, well, what burdens you? What makes you run the race less efficiently? And how can God help you to lay off those burdens so that you can keep on running the race that he calls you to run at the pace that he calls you to run? The most important thing we have to understand about running the race of faith is that we run in darkness. See, when I was in the Lake District, I went on a walk at sunrise. And that meant if I was going to get to the top of the mountain at sunrise for the nice view, it meant I had to start walking at pitch black at 5 a.m, right? The reason I walked, if it was pitch black for the whole night, for the whole walk, I would have turned right round and gone back to bed. But the reason I initially started walking was in hope of the future light to come. The reason I walked up the hill, the reason I walked up 700 meters at 6 a.m. was because I knew that once I got to the top, there would be a beautiful sunrise. The reason we run the race of faith is in hope of the future light to come, that is Jesus Christ, when he comes again. The reason we run in this world of darkness is because we know that there is light to come. We know that there is light at the end of the tunnel when Jesus comes again. So we run the race of faith in darkness, knowing that there is light to come.